Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So behind me, we're going to take a look at this 991.2 Porsche 911 GT3. Huge shout out to 704 Exotics for providing this manual sports car for me today. Be sure to check out their website. That link is down in the description. So this GT3 is finished off in GT Silver Metallic, and we'll start off with what powers this rear engine sports car. So underneath, this has a 4-liter flat six paired to the 6-speed manual transmission, pumping out 500 horsepower, 339 pound-feet of torque. All of that power is sent to the rear wheels, propelling this 3,200-pound sports car from 0 to 60 in as quick as 3 seconds, up to its top speed of 199 miles an hour. Now this also has a fuel capacity of 17 gallons. You'll expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city, 20 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 96.7 inches. Its overall length is 179.6. It has a width of 72.9 and a height of 50 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this 911 GT3, the front end has more of a subtle design to it. Porsches in general have more of a classy design to them, very sculpted lines, nothing too angular or crazy as far as the lines go. So it gives it more of a subtle exterior with all of that power hidden up underneath. But up front, as you can tell, plenty of cutouts in the bumper to provide a lot of cooling and aerodynamics. There's even inlets on both sides to provide even more cooling. Now the turn signals are tucked up nicely above the trim pieces in the lower section. And then the classic design for the LED headlights and DRLs are on each side of the front area where there's not a single line coming down. So it curves very nicely with the Porsche badge and then a heat extraction vent at the base of that. Now, since this is a rear engine vehicle, you actually have storage space up front. So if I hold this button, we can take a look at what most people call the frunk. You open it with the hood latch, just like it would be a normal hood. Look at how deep this compartment is. I have my camera bag, there's some other items. This is a good amount of space to make this a practical, everyday type of vehicle. I have an Audi R8, it is not quite that large up front. So it is definitely nice to have that amount of usable space, and then you can easily latch that back into place. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a staggered setup for the wheels. They measure 20 inches. They are 9 inches wide up front, 12 inches wide in the rear. This also has the massive red brake calipers, multi-spoke design to that wheel, which matches nicely with the silver. On the passenger side, the fuel cap is over here. This even has carbon fiber for the side mirrors. No sunroof for this coupe, but a look from the side, just like up front, very sleek with all of the lines and the curves. There's a trim piece in the lower side skirt that matches the front bumper there, but it just has that elegant design to it. These are pretty much straight sleepers. They kind of look like every Porsche, at least in my opinion, minus having the massive fixed wing, which gives it away that it's a little bit more performance oriented. Large air inlets above there to provide even more cooling. All of the airflow coming up over the hood can channel into those areas. Heat extraction vent in the back section there with the GT3 badge. More of the vents are in the lower section with the center exit dual exhaust. So that's a look at the exterior for this 911 GT3. That wing is massive. Third brake light is on the back too, and I'll show you the visibility from the driver's seat here in just a little bit. But let's work our way to the interior now, where the door panel has a great design to it. There's leather and Alcantara, some brush trim accents, window controls, side mirror adjustments too, and then this has the Bose audio and a little bit of storage in the lower section of the door. There's a split design, so a little bit in front and a little bit in the rear. And then the GT3, they don't come with back seats, so I guess technically you could call this the back seat delete. But look at the amount of storage space that you have in addition to up front. So you could put some items back there. Might be a little bit hard to get to with these carbon fiber bucket seats. These are fixed. You can move them forwards and backwards, but there's no recline or incline. So that is the seating position if you buy this car with these seats. We have the red seat belts. On the door sill, this is how you release the rear engine compartment or the frunk if you don't use it on the key fob. If you're buying this, I don't know if you want these seats for a daily driver, but I absolutely love them. It is a bit of a process to sink down into these seats since we have this large lip here right next to my legs. But as we move on to the steering wheel, covered in Alcantara, you have no controls on the steering wheel. Nice 3-spoke design with the matte black, but you don't need anything to push on. We have a lighter weight steering wheel because of that, but you just need to have a good grip on both sides while you are driving this. Now on this right side, we have a menu control that you can go through. Cruise control is on the left side there. And then we have the turn signal stock, of course. Check out the gauge cluster setup. Let's fire this up so we can go through more of that info. Like every other Porsche, we have the key that goes over on this left side. So they still pay tribute to the older models by doing that. And with my foot on the brake and the clutch, let's fire this up. And looking at the gauge cluster now, everything is analog pretty much, minus the one digital screen right there. So on the far left side, there's engine temperature, along with oil temperature, there's miles per hour, tach is front and center. There's also some other vitals like your fuel over on the right side, and then that digital screen, I can use that stock that I mentioned earlier to further go through that. So you can pull up navigation, you can look at trip information, TPMS, there's also a lap timer, G-force meter, a performance page too that you can monitor, some other vitals, you even have audio and your phone. There is a lot to go through, which is pretty cool to see. So just depends on what you'd like to go through. You have several adjustments. For a GT3 and more of a track focused vehicle, this is a daily driver with the amount of normal tech that you have. Now also over on the left side, there's the headlight adjustments, the e-brake, there's one air vent, some of this trim that works its way to the center. There's also a clock up in the top, and then this even has a large infotainment system right in the middle. Now it is a touchscreen system, or you can use the buttons that are located down below. I wouldn't say this is the most high tech, but again, for a race car like this, it is perfectly acceptable to have this. So you can get into your navigation, you can go to your map, which is currently on. If you're taking some back roads, it's always helpful to know the turns that are coming ahead of you. You can go into car, look at some of this general information if you need to. There's your audio controls, your phone too, and then volume and tuning, along with a few other controls. Has a CD player just above the Porsche logo there, but that's pretty much it. You have your climates just underneath that, so this does have AC, which is extremely helpful, especially for today, with your temperatures on both sides, where you'd like the air to go, and of course the fan speed. And then Alcantara covers the entire shift boot. Reverse is going to be all the way over to the left, where this does have a backup camera. Very helpful, especially since that is your rear-facing visibility, the giant wing right there, but it's always helpful to have that backup camera. And then behind the shifter, there's the hazards, there's also sport mode, a suspension setting, traction control settings, and then you can even turn on and off the active exhaust, which is awesome to see. Behind that, there's a little bit of space where you pretty much wouldn't really put anything, but we have Alcantara on the center armrest, and it does not open up. So that is fixed right there, but you do get a glove box. So of course that gives you an ample amount of space, and you also have hidden cup holders. So you can pop those out as needed and bring your drinks with you and with your passenger. I love that hidden aspect being right into the dash there. It's definitely a must-have. And then let's take another look. Porsche logo up in the headrest. Such a beautiful seat, so supportive. And another look at the area in the back here with GT3, a little bit of storage right in the middle. Full Alcantara headliner, dome lights are up in the middle too. But let's go ahead and get the GT3 out on the road. As we set off now behind the wheel for the 911 GT3, this was a car that was never on my radar until I drove one. This would be the third or fourth GT3 that I've been in, but this is the newest of the ones that I've been able to be behind the wheel of. And I gotta say, the few miles that I put on this to get to this filming spot, I am already in love with this car. I love these seats. I don't know if this was your daily, if you would want these. They do go up and down, but there's no recline in them. But I love them. If you're new to our channel, I own an Audi R8. This is a lot more raw feeling even though it kind of feels modern at the same time. It's weird to say that, but I could see this being a daily driver, but then you have a track weapon with the performance that this car has and what it's capable of doing. So if we give it a small acceleration from second gear here, ooh, it doesn't seem crazy fast. It felt like the power kicked in around 4,000 there, and I'm gonna leave it around there for today's video since I don't own this, but it redlines to 9,000. Can you imagine that? From this NA engine, you can go up to 9,000. My R8 goes to about 8, if that, maybe 7. So I'm only doing half of its potential today. If you got on this, man, it would, that power's up there in the 6, 7, 8 area where you would just feel it. And this would be so fun to take to the track, back mountain roads. It's just, it's my next car if I ever replace the R8. I can absolutely see this being the next step. The clutch is super lightweight. I love how notchy feeling the shifter is. You're just right into that next gear. Feels like it's a short throw in a sense, but I like the engagement that you have. This is also the first model year that Porsche offered the 6-speed manual. So before that, for the numbers are hard to remember, but this is the 991.2. I think the 991 only had the PDK. So in this model, you got the 6-speed manual, which I would absolutely get, and I love that Porsche offers a lot of manuals for their sports cars. Ooh, man, it's not, oh, let's get that exhaust on. There we go. I was gonna say, it's not too loud. There we go. I gotta leave that on from now on. But aside from driving this, the practicality aspect, it's you and a passenger, you have space behind you, you have space up front. So it's practical to daily drive this, just so not much for extra people. There we go. Very, very nice sounding. But, oh man. I mean, my R8 is a 2-seater as well. So just as practical, but you have a lot more space behind you there. And man, this is so cool. I love the creature comforts that you get. So you can daily drive this. It's so hot today. I'm glad I have AC at least, and that's not a delete in this model. Those are the few twisties or turns that I can do today. And from second gear, here we go. All right, that's it for today. Short shifting, I know, but man, such a fun car. Now, the 991.2 911 GT3, these cars are going for about $200K in today's market. The starting MSRP for a 2023 is around $170, but on the used market, they are trading for $200, give or take, somewhere around there. And I think the manual might add to that price a little bit more than the PDK. They're both amazing transmissions. It just depends on your preference, what you are looking to get. But it's an expensive car, but I can absolutely see the fun factor. You're not gonna drive this around in a bad mood. You hop behind the wheel and your day is going to change. If not, you're already having a good day and then you just get a bonus getting to drive this around. It is so cool. It's also very comfortable. I've had it in the hard suspension or sports suspension, and I honestly haven't had any issues. I'm more of a stiff suspension type of person, so it doesn't bother me. But you can put it into the more relaxed setting if you want to as well. Man, it's quick. Obviously it's quicker than what I'm doing today, but I can see the potential. This is such an amazing car. A huge shout out to 704 Exotics for letting me get behind the wheel and experience the latest generation for this GT3. Check out their website. That link is down in the description below. And make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, so you can stay tuned with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.